Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Press B to Cancel. Today, we're going to discuss What? We're recording. Guys, we got a letter.
Oh.
Well, unless you don't want me to read it. I mean, I don't have to. Do you want me to read the letter?
No, read it.
We don't get fan mail very often.
I was going to say, is that my new job?
My interest is piqued.
Wait, is that the resume to join the podcast? Is that back yet?
Did it finally come in? No. Okay, hold on. Wow, it's long too. And it's official.
Well, I've heard that.
Did we get a sponsorship?
Is it
Beaver Buzz?
Is it
Please
empty
sponsor.
chip bags as a sponsorship?
No,
empty
it's
chip
a
bags as a sponsorship.
Half filled, like our content. No, it's a letter from the International Olympic Committee. Actually, it's not, dude, guys, this is a complaint from the IOC. They're very disappointed in our medal awarding in our past episodes. They, you know what? I believe them. I feel for them. They say they don't believe and they don't understand why Super Mario Brothers and Circus Charlie were just denied medals, and they're claiming foul play. They're asking if we've taken bribes. I don't know about you guys. They're extremely upset with us. Apparently, they've sanctioned a one-time event, and we have to run it as impartial as possible. Otherwise, we may lose our IOC status.
Today on. No? Okay.
I got to hit the button.
Sorry.
Shit. Ranking of Mega Man. Today on.
Guys, I found my new gag.
Don't talk during the intro.
We're all fired.
We're so fired. Oops, turn that off. Welcome back to another episode of Press B to Cancel. Today on a Saturday, not a Friday. Thank you for your patience. I am Sick Jake, and today we are discussing, more than that, we're determining the rankings of the classic Mega Man series and which are the best Mega Man games. If it's not on our list, total trash. And we'll get to that in a minute. We don't need no stinking letter. I'm not alone today. No, never alone. I'm joined by my good friends. And actually, we got a full house today, guys. This is crazy. I'm joined by Sinistar. Sinistar, how you doing this week?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
I'm great. And we're joined by GP. GP, how you doing?
Doing good. Thank you for having me.
And we're also joined by Werewolf. Wolf, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right.
Better than Mega Man will be at the end of this.
Honestly, I'm expecting Broken Hearts, probably mine. And we're also joined by Chard Monk. Chard, how you doing?
Thank you for squeezing an extra window so that I had something to do tonight. I appreciate it. It was pretty boring here.
Honestly, I'm telling you, with the layout we have that people want to see on YouTube, it's really hard with 5 guys. I gotta say, but
Five
we're
Guys
making it
is
work.
delicious. Let's not
5 Guys
lie.
is delicious.
Is that Nicolas
God.
Cage?
And
Is that Nicolas Cage? It looks like we have 6 guys.
we got 6
That's
guys
one
down.
burger better.
I love this Mega Man plushie that Wolf is flying across the camera. I
He
love
put his
that.
ear
thing.
hole way back here.
Yeah. I mean, he does not look correct in any sense of the word. Seriously.
Wait, where are your ear holes? Mine are on the back of my. I've said too much.
Hunter
I
S.
hear from the
Thompson
back,
made
too.
that plushie. Yeah.
All right. All right. So here's what we're doing. We're doing another ranking episode of brackets. What I've done. So for those who've not watched our earlier episodes like this, over the course of the last year and a half, I've developed a machine learning algorithm. Okay. It's in Java, so you know it's state of the art. And I fed into it thousands of games, of retro games, into this machine. And I've asked it to focus on Mega Man titles. Just the classic Mega Man series. We are going to do the X series probably later on. But we're looking at just the classic Mega Mans. And I asked it to give me the 12 best Mega Man games. We also took suggestions from the council here before you, but also our community. So we have those accounted for as well. So I'm going to push the button, and it's going to generate some brackets. And randomly, of course. And then we're going to talk through them, and we're going to determine the winner of each bracket and kind of go work our way through. So we have preliminaries, semis, and then the finals where we award bronze, silver, and gold. So we're just going to get right into it because these episodes are quite long. It might get heated. So we're going to start off with an easy bracket because I know we like the easy ones. We're going to start with Mega Man 11, which was released on a few different platforms. So I'm going to say Switch and PC versus Mega Man 9. Which was also on Switch, but originally came out for the Xbox 360 right? Yes, GP in the front.
I know the answer to this one.
Go ahead and start. Mega Man 11 versus Mega Man 9. What do you want to talk about first?
Mega Man 9. Hands down Mega Man 9 for that one.
Okay,
Next.
well, why?
Strongly disagree.
Really? 9 was great.
Well,
Okay. After the bad taste that was left in literally almost everybody's mouth from 7 and 8, to bring back 9 in the classic NES style, and it was difficult. It was not the easiest game. And then you could buy things and you could do all the, I don't know, it was just a really well-balanced game. In my humble but infinitely correct opinion, 9 beats out 11. Thanks.
Now, I got to agree with GP on this one. 9 is extraordinary.
Yeah.
It in every level, at least almost every level, incorporates some new gameplay mechanic / gimmick that was not in a previous Mega Man game and themes the entire stage on it. Not even 10 did anything like that, even though it was the same development studio.
Right.
9 brought back some of the difficulty from the early Mega Man games without making it feel frustrating or cheesy. And yeah, they did take away Mega Man's slide and his charge.
Which is weird,
For some
right?
reason, they gave him to Proto Man.
No, not weird.
But I'm not disappointed in it. It's if you're fresh off of one of the older Mega Man games, yeah, you want to slide, you want to charge. But if you're not, and it's been a while since you played one, it feels natural. It feels good.
Okay.
The gameplay is well balanced.
Yes, well balanced. And I'm sorry, the reason that I say there's precedence, and it's not weird that he doesn't have the slide or the charge shot. Mega Man X2, he didn't start off with his, capsule updates from X1. So there's history of Mega Man sloughing off all of his stuff after the long day. So
do you get the slide and charge back later in the game or no?
No.
Because from the footage people are watching and the video version of the podcast, a lot of these are me playing through one night, and I'm terrible at Mega Man games, as people are going to see. And I couldn't even get past, I think, one stage. So I don't know if you get the slide and the buster back, but you do?
No, you don't.
No.
Proto Man has them.
Isn't that's weird though?
He's
because
an additional character you can unlock, I think. He was a DLC originally, and in the Legacy Collection, he's a secret character that you can unlock somehow.
Is that Bass?
No, Proto Man.
Proto Man.
Oh, Proto Man. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you can select him right away.
Like musical bass.
Yeah, bass.
Bass,
yeah, everything
of course.
about Mega Man is based off of music.
Just because in the beginning of Mega Man 8 he calls him Bass doesn't mean they got it right. They also called him Wamega Man in that.
Wamega Man, yeah.
Mega Man. All right.
I see Sinistar's itching at the bit, so I'm going to let him.
Go for it,
I'll
dude.
follow up.
You're muted.
You are muted, sir.
Let me talk for a minute.
There you
go.
Professional podcaster.
Holy shit.
Sorry about that,
He
folks.
was just doing his best Charlie Chaplin.
I was. For those on the audio version, you couldn't see how amazing I was. So I feel like I'm going to be the outlier here. 11 for me, and the reason why is because I prefer my Mega Man on easy mode. And 11 had all of the abilities to essentially turn on as many quality of life enhancements as you wanted.
Quality of life enhancements. I'm using that in the future.
Yeah.
Well done.
I think it's
otherwise,
good,
yeah.
Because otherwise, I mean, you're just talking a whole bunch of robot pricks.
Long history there. Yeah.
Collectively, maybe.
So I'm going to vote 11, and the 11 that I vote for is accessibility. Now, I'm also going to say that the remainder of my votes are likely going to be musical based or soundtrack based, because I am not the Mega Man expert that most of you are, or at least some of you are.
Well, on that note, I would also like to mention that 9's soundtrack is really, really good.
It is good.
And 11's is very, very with the chicken strips and all.
Wow.
I will give you that the soundtrack for 11 is the lowest common denominator of 11. I will give you that.
Sorry,
what say you?
Certifiable.
So we're gonna have to go to a tiebreaker.
Mega Man 11. I'm gonna premise this with the starting phrase that's on the back of the Mega Man 11 cart for my PS4. Mega Man is back. The bitch is back, baby. Mega Man came back from a hiatus where he was gone, missing. He was in a legacy collection.
He
Just
was
missing.
quarantined.
Swept
He
under
had
the rug.
Robinza.
He was captured away. And you know what they did? They took Mega Man. They revamped him. They gave him powers to stop time. The man can stop and slow down time now. And they utilize that throughout the entire game as a new gimmick. And I'm going to tell you right now, Sinistar, you say you like your accessibility. This game is hard as heck. This game is very difficult, but it is beautiful on the eyes. I'll tell you what, I'd marry this if I wasn't already. It's a fantastic game. It's a great soundtrack, though maybe possibly forgettable. It's no Mega Man 2. I'll give you that. That's fine. But it's got some good bops. It bops. This game bops. It also is, again, it's very tasteful in the eyes. I could be deaf and still very much enjoy listening to this game because I can't hear it. You know why? Because it's beautiful visually. It's also very fun to play, and it is very challenging. My vote goes Mega Man 11 because it's the better game and a story. 11's higher than 9. Let's go.
All right. Jake, before you vote,
Yeah.
I would like to mention Mega Man 11 doesn't even use the traditional 1-up sound. It uses some generic nonsense noise
You know
that
what else it
doesn't even
use?
sound like you got a 1-up. Okay.
You know what
Wait,
else
wait.
it doesn't use?
We
It
can
doesn't
influence-
It doesn't use antiquated graphics either. It steps up its game. It brings it to the PS4, and it brings it to audio-visual artistry.
We
Chart,
can
you're-
influence the
That's the word. Look
judges.
it up. That's the
Chart,
word.
your arguments
We are the
for
judges.
Yeah, we all
Chart's
are.
arguments for liking 11 are the same reason, like, well, that's not fair. No, never mind. Just go on. I'm
if
sorry.
you say anything 8,
We have
with
so
2
many brackets
consonants
to
in
get
front of
to.
it, we're done.
I'm going to
I'll
mark a
walk outta
poll.
here
I'll send you a
right now.
video later. Shout out to Hermione from Harry Potter, also, who can, stop time.
It's Leviosa, okay? Not Leviosa.
No, she had the time turner. I love Hermione.
She did have the time turner.
So I got to ask a question. So again, like
Prisoner of
Sinistar, I
Azkaban
don't
is the
know
best
much
out of the
about these
series.
games. So I have a couple questions about 9 and 11. First thing about 11, for people who are listening, apologies, but we are doing this on YouTube as well, and we have a video up in the background of 11. And it's like 5 minutes in, and it's still freaking plot. How much plot is left? 6 minutes?
The
7?
intro is way too long. The
It's
intro
like
is
10 minutes,
genuinely
dude.
too long.
Yo, it shows
11?
that Mega Man is not just a fighting robot. He's also a sweeping robot.
And there's a
okay?
tutorial?
The guy has layers. He's like an onion. All right.
The
You keep
tutorial is
healing,
skippable.
You find more things about this man you like. I will
The-
fight this to my death.
Like,
The
I will
tutorial
die on this
is-
hill.
The tutorial is optional.
well, at least the tutorial is optional, but like, what do you need tutorial for? It's Mega Man. Jump and shoot. Like, come on.
No. It
No.
introduces the time slow and the power buff.
Okay. Oh,
You're gonna
okay,
tell me
fine.
that-
And that's neat. The
you're gonna
mechanic
tell
change
me
is
that-
definitely cool.
Plug Man is cooler than Acid Man. Get out
Plug
of
Man
here.
easily in a game. All right,
All
so Jake, what say you?
So the other quick question I had about 9 is what impresses me about 9 is that they're not using the original Mega Man engine. They made a new engine for 9 and 10, and they tried to recreate the old NES graphics as close as possible. I just had to ask, does 9 also have flicker of sprites and slowdown?
No.
Then my selection
slow
is
down
Mega
because
Man,
it-
hands
They,
down.
Not
they
my
didn't
Mega Man.
recreate that because they wanted the game to be a fluid experience that looked like the NES games and felt like the NES games, but played better.
No, so for me,
Listen,
like, if
my
you're going to
Mega
recreate
Man
the NES
slows
style,
down
then
when
you
there's
need to
too
have
much
the slow
stuff
down
on
and
the
flicker.
screen.
Yeah.
Thank you. My Mega Man slows down when there's too much stuff on the
Wait,
screen.
so who
okay?
won this
That's
one?
my Mega
Well,
Man.
then, but 11
It's a new
also
game,
didn't
it
have the
doesn't count.
slowdown or the flicker.
I could slow it down using time stop. Ha!
Right.
What
But
now?
there you go.
Checkmate.
Built in as a
Checkmate.
gameplay mechanic. Also, the stage I'm playing through for 9 has this spinning thing where you're rolling around a battery.
I
That was
love
like the
that.
first part. It's ass.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
No, it's awesome. It's okay. It takes what Gutsman stage in Mega Man 1
And makes it
And-
worse.
Which is
amps
lousy.
it up, but also
Amp-
makes it more fun to look at.
When you amp
It's-
something up, you're making it worse.
It's
Yeah.
so
That's
cool when you
automatic.
jump on this thing and you see Mega Man just start dipping around it and coming around and back and
'Cause
forth.
Everybody I've ever heard says, man, those dropping conveyor belts are the best thing ever.
But you don't
And
drop
make
on
them-
this one,
and
and
make
instead you
it
just have
worse.
to time your jumps.
But if you're down
the
and you hit
timer
jump,
jumps
you
to
go
the
down.
top.
You drop. It's the hardest damn thing. Trust, I dropped a lot.
No, it's not. I beat
This
that
isn't
stage, no
inaccurate.
problem. That's the first level I beat,
Well,
probably.
my vote is Mega Man
not all of
11.
us are
I think
gods at
it's
Mega
going
Man.
for a
Ah,
new
okay.
style, new gameplay,
Heathens.
and the reviews are pretty good. And I'll admit though, the music in 9 is better than 11. 11 is very forgettable, but there's nothing really stand out in 9 either. But between the two, the music is better than 9.
Nothing
that-
stand out at 9.
Yeah. What boss
No.
stand out? Like music stands out.
Oh, there's Galaxy Man or whatever.
Eh,
The
A whole
flying
bunch of 'em.
saucer-headed dude.
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know what? Give me Tundra Man 5 times a day and 7 days a week.
all right. So is that
So what was
Two-
it? Tornado Man's is good.
Tornado.
fuck
Yeah,
I don't-
Tornado Man?
I don't
Sorry,
know
you do.
whose is Flash in the Dark. I know the titles by name, not by level. So there's Flash in the Dark and Maze of Death for the endless mode. That music is awesome.
No, I'm not gonna swing
Plus,
it.
it's
I
got
think-
an endless mode that's like a huge challenge that's randomly generated. If you just
Mega Man's
wanted to
already a
get
challenge on stage
never-ending Mega
1.
Man
I don't
fun,
need an endless
it's
mode.
got it.
Can you imagine fighting Brickman and then he does his power move and then you got to fight this giant boss thing? That's cool as hell. That's way better than Water Lady or whatever her name is.
Yeah, Splash Woman. 9
Yeah.
was also more inclusive than any other
Splash
entry.
Woman?
I give him credit for that. Yes.
All right. I mean, that is an upsell.
All right. So my vote is Mega Man 11.
Don't
Is
you-
that
don't
3 to
you
2
dip
for
on me,
11?
Sinistar.
That is 3
Okay.
to 2. You
Nope.
were the
All right.
you were the
Coming.
tiebreaker.
Okay. That's
So 11
unfortunate.
wins.
Yes.
Yeah. So
You
9 versus
cheeky
11.
rat.
Mega Man 11 clearly is the
is-
superior game as
This is
determined.
NES brackets all over again.
2
This
digits
is...
are better than 1.
All right. Moving
All right,
on.
what's next? What's next?
All right. Another
Jake's
easy
just
one.
mad because of Circus Charlie.
Yeah. Look,
He
the
sided
Circus
with
Charlie
11
lobby
because of Circus Charlie.
and Spot the Board game. Clearly the better platforming game.
Circus Charlie must be amazing if he picked 11 over 9 because 11 is better than 9.
Well, see, there you go. So finally, somebody in the council who agrees with me. I'm just-
Don't get crazy, Jake. Don't get crazy, man. Okay, I'm just trying to defend your own.
All right. Next
The
bracket.
mutiny will be
I'm
televised.
just trying
Here
to
we
win
go.
this fight. Okay, I might have to cheat a little bit.
Got to spread some money around. Bribe the judges. Mega Man 1 on the NES versus Mega Man Powered Up on the PSP. So, hold on, GP. I just want to say the Powered Up on the PSP was one of my picks. I'm just going to quickly say why. It is easier and more accessible than the original NES game, which, as much as I like Mega Man 1, the PSP version 1 was a lot easier to get into. It adds 2 new bosses, but the most important feature for me is a level editor. Mega Man level editors are amazing, and Powered Up for that alone is why I like it so much. But I'll let you speak, GP, before you burst a blood vessel.
If I wanted to edit levels, I'd play Sims.
Ouch.
GP, fire off, baby.
Go, man.
You've been called out.
Oh
We
no,
saw-
I was
we
just
saw
gonna
one
say
of your, one of your
I was
eyes
just
were
gonna
gonna pop out of your head, so just
Ma-
make sure we put it back in there.
Mega Man 1 wins over whatever one Jake had said. I already forgot the title of it.
Have you
Thank
you.
have you
Mega Man
played
Powered
Powered Up?
Do I have to? Do I need to?
With the
Was that on
delightful
Wily
chibi
Wars?
style graphics? You know? No? PSP
Oh,
3D
yeah.
graphics?
Of course. Yes. Yes. Of course. Clearly, yes.
Something about Mega Man and Chibi that does not sing to me.
That's
My
what
vote's
he-
Mega Man 1 because Mega Man 1's classic. Yes, it's janky, it's broken, it's hard, but it's Mega Man.
The
I-
box artwork alone.
That's a
My
factor.
Mega
The
Man
box
doesn't
art.
have giant eyes. So we're gonna find this.
What is this box art? Now I got to look at it.
You guys
Oh, the
don't know
original
what
Mega Man box
for
art
Mega
is
Man was? Yes.
is funny.
I haven't seen
Oh,
it
it's-
in like
it's great.
15 years.
Which Powered Up or Mega Man 1?
No, just Mega Man
Mega
1.
Man Powered
NES
Up.
one.
Oh,
Oh,
One
oh,
looks
the,
like
the
we all
box
know
art
that
for
was
Mega Man
Secret.
1 is Chef's
Classic.
Kiss, worst box that is the best box ever.
Hold on. Sorry, you said worst?
No,
Yo,
well,
Worst best.
like
This-
that
Okay.
Mega Man character on the box art is like Chef's Kiss bad.
No.
Like-
Here's the concept. We're gonna give you some drugs and a color palette. We're not gonna tell you anything else. Go. And he delivered us that, or
character's
she.
name is Mega Man, and he shoots things. Like that is literally all that the artist was told.
The game
You want
had
big
a gun.
shoulders?
Paint
Done.
a man with a helmet and a gun. Go. Done. Done. He's in
No.
space too. It looks like Tron. He looks
Yes.
like he's Clue.
Yeah. And Tron is fantastic. But
Tron is fantastic.
all that notwithstanding, Mega Man 1, top tier game. I do love that one. It's fun to play vanilla. It's fun to speedrun. It's fun to glitch. It set the precedence for a lot of great things to come. So yeah, I'll just say that, and I don't want to go too long on all this. So thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so GP is a Mega Man 1. What were
I
you gonna say,
agree with
Jake?
GP. I'm also a Mega Man 1. And for the sole reason that Mega Man 1 started the entire franchise of what we have today. And honestly, you know, it's difficult. It's a tough game, but it's still they didn't change a whole heck of a lot. It's still hard, but it was accessible after 2 and so on and so forth. It's just I think I give it more clout because it is the first one. It's the one that started the whole franchise.
Jake,
so you got to give it a little bit more. It's shaky as hell.
On the YouTube feed, where in proximity to me is Chardmonk? Up, down, left, or right?
He's in the very bottom.
Way down.
Down.
Fist bump. Fist bump.
Through my face and Wolf's.
Wow.
That's how we do it.
Sometimes you got to break some heads.
Yes.
Just got
Yeah,
fisted.
Mega Man 1.
All right.
Okay, before
I
we
will
move
throw
on,
my vote. Oh, go ahead.
who's played Mega Man Powered Up? Is it just me?
No, I've played it.
I played it.
Okay. Well, what do you think, Wolf?
I actually, as much as it pains me to agree with you after Mega Man 9 and 11, I think Powered Up is a better game. It is. Mega Man 1, you guys aren't wrong. It started off the franchise, and it's been a very strong franchise. It's a great jumping off point. Powered Up tightened up a lot of those mechanics. And I gotta agree, level editor. Level editors are huge. Mario Maker 2, massive success. It's just they put this thing on the PSP of all things. Like it was doomed to fail because not a whole lot on the PSP really succeeded. Like there's a reason we only got one Powered Up and one Maverick Hunter because they put them on the PSP. Had they put them on PS2 or something, they would have kept going. People would have bought them.
I think Mega Man Power Up failed not because it was on the PSP, but because it's not that good of a game.
Oh,
You
shit.
haven't played it,
it
so
was
you
a
wouldn't
good
know.
game.
You can't
I
talk on
said
that.
I played it. Did you not hear me say I played it?
Okay. Did you
I-
play
Rewind
past the
the
plot in the
podcast.
beginning?
Why would I play anything further than watching the man run like he's made out of jelly? He
Okay.
bounces. Are you kidding me? There's only a few things in this world that I like to bounce, and that's my jelly. And I bet you can guess the second thing.
Well-
That's right. Trampolines. Thank you.
Speaking
Oh,
of, this,
fucking plot
of
twist.
of the two bouncing things, one of the bosses is Time Man, and he has two bells on his heads, and they might be a little bit suggestive for a kid's game. Look, I agree. I like
Yeah, the other
Mega Man
one's
1.
Oil Man, and
There's
I'll
Oil
let
Man.
you use your imagination on that.
All right.
GP's
Again, my
using his
thing is much like
imagination.
Wolf, is that the level editor, I think, is a huge thing for this game. The added checkpoints makes the game better.
Bro,
So-
you can throw Pac-Man in one. That's 2 games in one. Get out of here.
Okay. I get it.
All right, so
that
we
it's
need
not
a
going to be
tiebreaker.
everybody's game.
So am I the
You're the tiebreaker.
tiebreaker?
You're the tiebreaker,
Yes.
sister.
You
So what do you
are.
think?
Which one has the better
But
soundtrack to start?
Here's something to
Oh.
consider. Is,
Oh.
yeah. In
Okay.
Powered Up, you can play the updated version that's widescreen, but you can also play the original level layouts, I believe.
You can. Yes, you get a choice. New style or old classic level style.
Right.
Or I could
Okay.
just play the old classic and end it there.
Okay, so here's the thing. We have no rules on this, right? There's no rules on how a judge is influenced, right?
No, it's up to you.
No, you
Okay.
handsome person.
Oh, well, okay. So first off, I looked up a list of ranking the core Mega Man games, and this list on Polygon has Powered Up as number 1.
Really?
Mm.
Okay. Yeah.
Suddenly I like Polygon more
Yeah.
and more. Yeah.
Have you been introduced to the Washington brothers?
No.
Chart.
Okay.
Oh,
And his
But-
best friend Jefferson.
$2.
But I will say this: while I was listening to the soundtracks, right, I kept listening to each game, and I was like, "This one slaps. This is the new one. This one slaps. This is the new one." But I come back to, I'm sorry, but I come back to Cutman on Mega Man 1. that soundtrack for Cutman. And to show my true colors and my true influence here, GP showed me how to glitch Mega Man 1. Mega Man 1.
Thank you.
You know why
I
it's called Mega Man 1? Because it won. Mic drop.
I didn't want to say that, Sinister. I didn't want to be like, I made an entire video for you for your birthday about Mega Man 1. So thank you.
Yeah, but where do we go? Where do we go when Mega Man 2 comes up against something that I care about? Because that's the other one that you glitched for me.
Yeah.
Mega Man 2 is awesome. Also, I want to point out that not only did both ones win, get it? Both ones, but a third one won. Let's go. Next game.
Yeah, what's the next bracket?
Let's go.
All right, so Mega Man 1 NES.
Let's go.
More
Mega Man 1
disappointment for
NES.
me and Jake.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
Mega Man 1 NES Cutman soundtrack OST Cutman.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with you. The Mega Man NES music is pretty good. I still like the PSP music, but for me, it's the gameplay and the level editor PSP version that makes it great. But I can accept the music is better on the NES.
Can you imagine like going back to when Mega Man 1 first came out and it was a new game, hearing that music compared to everything else that existed for the NES up to that point?
The only thing that compared was Zelda. The only thing that compared was Zelda 1, right? Yeah. Well, maybe Metroid. Maybe Metroid.
As much as it's still just the beeps and boops, Zelda's a really strong soundtrack.
Everybody can hear the Zelda song in their head when they think
as soon as you say Zelda, you immediately hear the theme song.
All right. That's another episode.
Next.
So a Mega Man 1 on the NES versus Mega Man Powered Up on the PSP.
Did you just say Mega Man 1?
Because it did.
It is.
I hope so.
Oh, God.
Well, Mega Man 1. Okay, sorry.
I hate you guys. All right, next bracket.
Mega Man 1.
Next bracket. Mega Man 10 from the Xbox 360 and other platforms versus Mega Man 5 on the Game Boy. So this is the other one of my picks is the Game Boy game. I know there's for the previous Game Boy Mega Man games, they get a lot of flack because they're kind of remixing, rehashing the NES titles. But Mega Man 5 on the Game Boy is completely unique. All the bosses are unique, which is different from the rest of the series. The gameplay is tighter, still bullshit hard, but it's a lot tighter, a lot smoother. There's tons of bosses. The music, I'm always impressed with Game Boy music. It slaps. And a lot of times I find the Game Boy music better than NES version a lot of the time. So the Game Boy it's just Game Boy on its best front, on its best form. And I think at least it was worth having at least one Game Boy Mega Man game on this list to talk about because I think it does it really well as a title. So I don't know what you guys think. Go ahead, Chard.
Looks like Chard's ready to go.
Uh-oh.
Jake, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to agree with you on Mega Man 5, but I'm going to give it this. I'm going to agree with you on this sole purpose. I'm sorry, Wolf. This is a tough one. I'm gonna go out there and say this one's a tough one for me, but I have to go with this. The original Game Boy games that came out for the Mega Mans were all rehashed of the original ones on NES. They all had the same bosses as the original. They had the same kind of levels and storylines, and they were just like, we're gonna take bosses from 3 and 2 and put them into one game. And you're like, you're just basically taking NES games and smashing together. 5 on the Game Boy, its own thing. Its own story, its own bosses, its own thing. It's basically like Mega Man 1 on the Game Boy, what it should have been, because it's its own story. And it's good. Jake's not wrong. I didn't personally play it. I did watch some videos on it because I was curious about it with the way Jake was talking about it. I don't know how the gameplay works, but as visually and watching it, I was actually intrigued by watching the YouTube video that now I am interested in playing it just because of how it flowed. I don't usually sit down and watch long plays unless I'm trying to figure out a way to get through something. This one had me intrigued just to watch. I found myself watching this probably for about 45 minutes before I went, oh, I've been watching a game. So that's how good it was. It wasn't because usually I watch it to get notes and take notes and whatever. But I was so enthralled by the actual gameplay of it that I, A, forgot to take notes, and B, was so interested that it caught my attention more than, oh, I got to write this down, or I need to think about this for later. I really liked Mega Man 5 for the Game Boy, so I'm with Jake on this one. I think 5 wins over 10, which is very difficult to do because 10 is also very good in its sense that it keeps the same. It's a later version of the game, but it's the same, it's the same style, it's the same everything on Xbox 360, no less. So it is difficult, but I'm going with Game Boy 5.
I'll just real quick sound off on this one, and then I'll step back. I don't typically like the Game Boy Mega Mans just because the ratios make the games needlessly vertical compared to what I typically like to see in other standard Mega Mans. That said, I was not a huge fan of 10. I'm going to lean 5 on this one, which really, if you'd asked me a day ago or like a month from now, I might change my mind. These are both kind of, for me at least, bottom of the barrel. But I'm going to go 5.
Star, you want to say something?
Going 5. Because honestly, anything on Game Boy is fantastic quality. I mean, seriously, like I don't know that I mean they threw so much quality at the Game Boy that I love pretty much everything on the Game Boy.
Wolf, now
Okay,
you
I'm gonna
beat
ask
this
you
today,
guys-
didn't you?
I did.
Okay.
Now, at this point, it's basically moot that I'm even saying 10. But having played 10 in the last 24 hours and 5 in the last 24 hours, I still think I gotta lean 10. 5, as good as it was, the music is not better than 10's music. The gameplay is too easy. Now, I know some people say 10 is too hard. 10 has an option to go easy mode.
It
10
does.
also has 3 selectable characters, one of which is Proto Man, who is basically Mega Man from the NES. He can charge, he can slide, he's also got his shield. So, again, makes it easier. Or you can play as Base, who can shoot diagonally and can dash, like X from Mega Man. So, or from Mega Man X. So, 10 gives you a lot more options in terms of play style. And what 5 did great was great for the time, but it's I can't say that it's better than 10. I can't. Like, it was cool that you get to do a fight with basically Wily's Death Star in space.
Yes.
And I love the reference to it. It was like a sort of tongue-in-cheek moment where he's like, "Oh, look at that star," and then it's friggin' Wily's fortress floating up from the behind the planet he's on. I was like, "All right, thanks, Star Wars. That's no
not a
moon."
star. That's a space. That's a Wily station.
But it was cool when you're fighting his Death Star that it zooms out, so they give you more space to play on. So
I'm glad
you
you brought
get like
that
a
up.
little half-sized, tiny Mega Man riding around in Russian space.
Yeah.
Which was cool. It's the only time I've ever seen something like that in a Mega Man game. So what it did was awesome, but I think 10 is still the more interesting game. Can it be too hard at times? Absolutely. That's why they gave you an easy mode. That's why they gave you easier characters to play with. Then there's the plot. And I know Mega Man is not known for its plot, but when you compare the plot of 5 to the plot of 10, it is hands down 10.
Have you seen 11?
We didn't even talk
The
about the
man's
voice acting, but
sweeping
we'll
at the
save
start
it.
of the game, and it won. Just pointing that out.
Okay.
I do have to admit, it's very difficult to argue when there's a robot master called Commando Man, and he looks like he's wearing tidy whities.
Wow.
That is definitely a tough one. That was one of my big arguments.
With 5, they try to play it off like all these new robot masters are from space. So you end up fighting, Mars, Venus, Mercury, Pluto, Jupiter, Uranus, Saturn. Okay, first off, Uranus has horns. What
But
were they
doesn't-
implying?
Doesn't
horns
10
up
also
Uranus.
have sheep? Doesn't
Yes.
10 also have Sheep Man?
Yes.
10 does have Sheep
How
Man,
is-
and
how is
he is a
Sheep-
reference to Philip K. Dick. Do androids dream of
Android
electric
sleep
sheep?
electric sheep.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
GP,
So-
you're muted.
Sorry, yes. I was just yelling about Philip K. Dick. But yes, that stage is great. The soundtrack to the Sheepman one is cool. The baseball level is cool. The one thing I'll say about 10 that I liked a lot was the power-ups. The weapons that you got, I felt were very unique amongst the other numbered classics.
Nice.
So I know that I mentioned Mega Man 5 for the Game Boy. It was one of my picks. And that's because I guess I had played it during a tournament not too long ago. And I appreciated the graphical style and the music and all that stuff. And it's great. The problem I have with 5 in the Game Boy, it's bullshit difficult. I'm surprised, Wolf, that you beat it so quickly. Again, I know you're better at these games than I am for sure. But when I played it,
Because it was easy.
It's not easy.
No,
okay?
it was.
Oh,
This is
man.
5 is probably the easiest Mega Man game I've ever played.
Okay.
There's
Did
no
someone
way.
Please call
3
the
and 2
Burn
are way
Wars?
It
easier than
is.
5. No, 5 is brutal, and you die in 5. The checkpoint system is insane. Do you know how many times I died in some of these stages only to start back at the very freaking beginning of a stage? 5 is
The
ridiculously
checkpoint
hard.
system is stupid in 5,
Yeah.
but once you start beating the bosses, it's super easy. You don't like every single boss can be beaten with Mega Man. What do they call it? Because you're throwing his
The
fist
Mega
around
Fist.
instead of the charge
It's
shot.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Mega Arm is
Yeah.
what it is, and every single enemy except for one can be beaten easier with the Mega Arm than with one of the special weapons you get. The special weapons are moot in this game. I
Wait until we
beat
bring
the
up Mega Man
final
2.
bosses with the Mega Arm. I didn't even bother figuring out what their weakness was because there was no point to it.
He fisted everybody. It was insane.
So
And
I was
then
going
the
to say,
final
about,
boss refers to himself as a doomsday weapon.
so a couple points of Mega Man 5 again is that the Mega Fist I also didn't like because it's a charge shot, but there's a delay for the hand to come back to you before you can use it again. So you can't charge as quickly as you can as in some of the NES games. So as much as I like the style of Mega Man 5 in the Game Boy, after playing Mega Man 10, I'm surprised I actually liked Mega Man 10 a lot more than 9 with the difference in gameplay. Like Sheepman Stage has like a call out to this arrow cursor enemy. It has these different blocks that are cool.
That's cool.
There's a
Yeah.
mouse
Those are cool.
pointer that drags
Yeah.
tiles onto
I
the
like
screen
the-
that it then
I like
shoots
the-
at you.
The treadmill too. The treadmill puzzle that you use.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's
that was the
Electric
same
Sheep
stage. That was really cool.
That was cool.
Those are really. That's a really cool aspect of the game.
And
5.
it's
Difficult to pick this two. These ones are actually very good.
They're very
together.
close. Yeah.
I just find
Yeah.
that I like space stuff. I like that the bosses were named after planets. That's just a personal thing for me. So I just thought that was kind of a cool twist on what we're used to getting the Firemans and the Molten Mans and the Magma Mans and the however many different names for fire we could come up with. We're going
Flame-
into
Flame
space.
Man.
I'll
Flame
take
Man.
it. Yeah, exactly. I'll take something as kind of a refresher for me.
All right. So who wins this one? What do we decide?
The GP, who you voting for?
5?
10 or 5?
Yeah, 5. 5.
You're 5?
Yeah.
Okay. 5.
5 Game Boy, right?
5
Yeah,
Game
5
Boy.
Game
It's
Boy,
yeah.
close, and like I said, I'm going to
Okay.
flip flop on this in the future, but 5.
3
I'm
for
actually-
3. Let's go, baby.
I'm actually
Let's
voting for Mega Man
go!
10. I'm actually with Wolf on this one. I thought
What?
as close as they are, and even though 5 was
Yeah.
my pick, Mega Man
You
10
can't
for
flip.
me is the better game, and it's close. Yeah.
You
It is close,
cannot flip choices. That's not fair.
I didn't flip a
Doesn't matter.
choice.
So,
I
yes,
nominated
yes,
5,
you
but I'm
can.
voting for 10. That's just the way it is.
And
the
Chart,
randomizer gave
Chart,
us
if
these
you-
two together, and 10 is superior.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And
But
if
anyway.
you want to go
everything
back
5
and
does, 10 does better.
Does 10 have vehicles? Because there's vehicle
5 is
stages in
less
5.
than 10.
Well, sort of. 10 has a vehicle that you have to not get run over by, but you can
Which
turn on
is
the
like that.
stoplights and prevent them from coming for about 10 seconds at a time.
Okay.
that is,
Okay.
those two things are so similar. That's like saying, we don't have time for my metaphors today. Let's move on. Sorry.
All right. So
I
it looks
say
like
5.
Wolf and I are outvoted, though. So again,
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
a metaphor?
Mega Man 10
10%.
versus Mega Man 5 in the Game Boy. Mega
Your
Man 10
metaphor.
takes it. No, sorry, Mega Man 5 takes it. My bad.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Today
So-
on.
Wow.
11?
Stay on.
11, 1, and 5. 11,
Yeah.
1, and
5
5
for the Game Boy.
5
5
for the Game Boy.
Boy,
Boy.
yes.
GB5.
Very important.
GB5.
All right, this
That's
one.
Very
GP.
different game than 5 for the NES.
Very different.
Yeah. Very different.
Give me 1 sec to pull this up. Okay. So, next bracket Mega Man 4 on the Nintendo Entertainment System. I know that GP likes that one.
Yeah.
Versus, one of our machine algorithms suggestions.
I swear to God, if you put 2 in here, I'm gonna.
No,
freaking
it's
walk out of this
probably
room.
3.
Street Fighter versus Mega
What
Man.
the- What?
Oh!
Have you guys
Oh,
played this?
Oh!
No.
No! I
So
always
there's a
wanted
fan.
to.
There's a fan who basically created a fan game of Mega Man in the NES style,
Wait.
but it was Street Fighter characters.
Mhm.
Now, the great thing about this is Capcom, unlike a lot of game companies, Capcom embraced this guy, gave him funding, gave him QA resources, and they helped release this game. You can play it today, Street Fighter versus Mega Man. You can download it from Capcom's website even and play it today. And it's actually absolutely amazing to play. And I think it's definitely one that should be on this list. But is it a fan game? supported by Capcom. Is it better than Mega Man 4 on the NES? Who wants to start?
I'll go last.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first. Oh no, you know what, Wolf? I went last time. You go first.
I did play this back when it was first released, and I really enjoyed it. But as novel as it was not a superior game to Mega Man 4. Mega Man 4 has the better music. It still has some of the like creativity behind the men. Well, I mean, they were reaching with some of them. Dustman is not the best name, but he's a cool boss.
As long as you have a vacuum, you're fine.
Easiest boss ever.
He is the vacuum. That's the point.
It's cleaning it up.
Okay, no, I'm going last.
4 was a good game. It introduced Beat, beloved. No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. Eddie.
No, it introduced
Flip-top.
Eddie.
Yeah.
And Eddie always gives you goodies. Every time you see him, he gives you goodies. So
Sometimes they suck
Yeah.
though.
Thank you.
It's like
I was going to say that.
I want to go
E-Tank
know
or
next.
what?
energy
Yeah.
in
weapon.
Mega Man
Like, it's-
8, Eddie actually fought alongside Mega Man.
Oh,
I want to go next. So what's your pick, Werewolf?
But my pick is Mega Man 4. The music, the gameplay mechanics, everything about it. Like
Okay.
Mega Man X Street Fighter, cool game, but it was fan made, and there's some attention to detail that was lacking.
Okay. Well, you ready for me to go?
yeah, man, go for it.
All right. When I was listening until I started re-listening, 4 was my favorite soundtrack. I'm gonna go 4.
That's all
I
you
gotta
got?
say, I agree with the
all I got.
soundtrack. Yeah, like
all I got.
Dustman, Ringman, right? There's a lot of great music in 4. I
We're-
really
we're
like some of the
past
boss designs
the,
too.
We're past the intro, so I'm gonna say it. Mega Man soundtrack for 4 fucks.
Fuck's hard.
We're not sorry,
Fuck,
you two.
sorry.
We're
Charity,
not
okay?
sorry now.
We were
YouTube.
sorry the first
Now we're
5
sorry,
minutes.
YouTube.
We're not sorry now.
So 4 because that soundtrack is amazing.
Okay. Charlie, what do you
I'll
think?
go next. 4 is my favorite, probably my favorite in the series. I personally love 4. I think 4 is a fantastic game. I like the extension of the final bosses where you don't think it's Wily for the first time, then it turns out it is Wily. Spoiler alert.
Shocker.
But you go after the Dr. Cossack character and all of that said, or Cossack or Cossack or however they pronounce it. I don't give a shit.
Cossack.
I really liked that spin on it because you were like, oh, it's not Wily, it's something totally different, and then it's not. But and the Robot Masters was cool as shit. Ringman, Toadman, Dustman,
Skullman.
Drillman,
Skullman.
Skullman. Those things are cool as hell, man. Those are really cool bosses. The music does can confirm, and I'm a big fan of 4. So let's go.
Especially those Cossack stages. Those are
Yeah.
Those are
great.
good.
That it's a much mellower boss like end game level music than we're traditionally used to, especially like with Mega Man 2. That thing's like way up here. It's running at 10, and Cossack is like running at a 4, but it's such a cool tune.
Well,
And
the
you
thing
can just
is
get hypnotized by it.
if you think about it, knowing the story that Cossack his daughter was kidnapped into this, the music is almost somber. So it's almost
Yeah.
like you can kind of feel it almost like he doesn't want to do this. So it's not Wily stage. It's not Mega Man 2 at a 10 running at full octane. It's like, God, I feel kind of bad being here. You know what I mean? I think
And-
I like that little subtle tip to it.
There's a remix to that song on OC Remix called Cossack Hot Steppin'. Go check it out. It is badass, and it mostly just adds some percussion to the actual track.
Nice.
Nice.
So yeah, 4 all the way without it.
All right. So, yeah, you're all exactly right. 4 is fantastic. You've heard me talk about this to death. So now you get to one more time. No. No, to me, the big thing with me about 4 is it was kind of like the pinnacle, or it was the top of the mountain when it comes to adding new things that increase your gameplay. 3, we had the slide. 4, we get the charge shot. There are a couple things that were glitchy, but there were more glitchy things in 3, and it wasn't quite as polished. To me, 4 feels very smooth, The music is top tier. The only real like logic leap that I have, and yes, I understand the conversation, but who buried all those robot dinosaurs in the background of Skullman? Like how? It doesn't matter. 4 is great, and I will spare you guys the lecture, but good job voting, everybody.
Okay. Well, let me just say about Street Fighter versus Mega Man. The reason why I like this being on the list, or at least for a chance, is because the Mega Man fan community is absolutely bar none fantastic, especially the ROM hackers, right? There are so many fantastic Mega Man ROM hacks that we could have maybe had added to this list. This one is one of the more polished Mega Man fan games by far. The custom sprite work and graphics are amazing. The idea of taking Street Fighter characters, another Capcom franchise, and mashing it together with Mega Man, I think is fantastic. I think this was around the same time there's rumors of, is it the Tekken Street Fighter crossover and whatnot? So this feels like in the same spirit of that. But that said, it's a PC game and it does not perform that well. There's slowdown, and not in that fun, janky NES way. It's a buggy game. Again, it's made by one person, which is impressive and amazing. And he did have support from Capcom, but it is buggy. And the music is also really not that memorable. Mega Man 4 may not be my favorite in this series, but it's definitely the more polished game, and it's more noteworthy because of the Mega Buster. Because you're right, GP. This is the first game that brings you the Mega Buster, which is iconic for the rest of the franchise, and it started in 4. Plus, the music in 4 really does slap. It's as much as I like 2 in Dr. Wily's Castle. There's more tracks in 4 that I like compared to other games. So I'm glad to see Street Fighter versus Mega Man here. But I agree with you guys. For once, I agree with you guys. I think it's Mega Man 4 as well.
I also think that the Street Fighter Mega Man thing probably could have gone further had it not been matched up against 4. I definitely don't think it's the weakest thing on the list. It just had the bad luck of getting paired with 4. And everybody, do yourself a favor. As soon as we're done streaming, and not a moment before, go and listen to Dustman's song. With maybe 1 or 2 exceptions that I'll mention later. That is really just top tier shit music wise.
Agreed.
Did we just unanimous vote?
We did.
Shocking. I know.
We did.
No, I'm not shocked because it's 4. If we had unanimous voted on 2, I'd be shocked, but whatever.
A 2 soundtrack is so good, man.
We'll get there. All right, so Mega Man 4 versus the fan game with Capcom support, Street Fighter versus Mega Man. Mega Man 4 does move on and wins. Okay. Our second to last bracket. I know how this one's going to go. Mega Man The Wily Wars on the Genesis versus, unfortunately, Mega Man 2 on the NES.
Let's go. I got this.
Go for it.
I got this. No, I'm going for this one. I'm diving
I'm
right
going
in.
to be devil's advocate. I will wait.
I'm sorry, Sinistar. I probably should have picked you first, but I'm going the frickin' with
No. I want to go last.
Mega Man 2 has the greatest soundtrack in all of the Mega Mans. Yes, I said it.
Ooh,
I said
danger, Chard.
Mega Man 2 is the greatest soundtrack in every single out of any of them. Though the gameplay is not as good as 4, in my opinion, the music. If you could take Mega Man's 2 music and put it into 4, it'd be unstoppable. It would be an amalgamum, or however the hell you say that word, of 2 of the greatest things ever combined, and nothing could stop it. Steamroll. It would destroy cities. It would cause war amongst peaceful countries, because that's how awesome.
And it would cause peace among warful
cities. And it would bring peace to war-torn countries and food to the hungry.
And cats and dogs living together.
That's how good.
Mass hysteria.
Non-mass hysteria.
Right. Mega Man 2, non-mass. No dogs and cats living together. Mega Man 2, the Wily Wars. What the hell, man? This game. Listen, I don't care. I don't care that Mega Man 2 is in this game. I don't care. This game is a dumpster fire within a dumpster fire on top of a dumpster fire. This game is Sega's attempt to fart base its way through a beautiful Capcom masterpiece and fails miserably.
It's not just
2 games.
It's 3 games.
It takes 3 games.
Wow.
It's
the first ever press P shush
to try and be better than 1. And I'll tell you what, my friends, Romans, countrymen, Mega Man 2 by itself is the better game than freaking Wily Wars. I don't care.
Yeah.
Dr. Light looks like a homeless man trying to sell Adderall to Mega Man.
Accessibility is what I say. Bring in the
No.
homeless. Why are you discriminating? Dr. Light, it's great. Next we'll have Mr. Bagman.
It's terrible.
Let's not hate on Adderall.
I'll tell you right now, I actually played Wily Wars this morning because Jake was so hyped about it. And I played Airman stage because that's where I always start. And it was terrible. It was slow. It was so slow. You can only fire. Listen, I know probably throughout the rest of the game, you can only fire 3 lemons throughout the entire game. Those who don't know what lemons are, they are the Mega Man bullets. But when you fire those 3 lemons, that's it. That's all the game. Listen, for a console that has blast processing, I wish you can zoom in on my face for that. Blast processing, and you can't throw a 2nd or 4th lemon in there. This game is a lemon. This game should be brought back to the dealership because it has the same problem 3 times in a row. Needs to be sent back, and I want my Mega Man 2 to come back unscathed, unalterated, and unharmed from NES. Wily Wars can literally be thrown into a dumpster, and the urine to put the fire out would be too good for it. I pick Mega Man 2 without question. That's it. End of story. Mic drop. Let's go.
Chart, okay. This is not me weighing in. I just want to say this, Chart. You and I need to have a discussion about where you're starting off in Mega Man 2. We'll come back to that, you and I, some other time. But Airman first?
Airman first.
That's what I do. Every time.
Second. Let's fucking go.
Every time. Okay, guys, I'm going to blow your mind soon. I'll do a walkthrough YouTube video. But okay, anyway, real quick. And also, I won't go off on any tangents because I don't think I can top everything Chart just say.
I have to interject. Is your video going to be called "How to Do This Wrong"?
No. But okay, real quick, just out of curiosity, Chart, which is the worst game, Wily Wars or the Street Fighter Mega Man game? Which one would you have voted for between those two?
Street Fighter Mega Man game, without
there you
question.
Go. Okay, so that was my point from the last bracket. Okay, Mega Man 2, great game, easy mode, difficult mode, still fun, love them all. Step in the right direction for the franchise. Thank you. 2.
Mega Man 2 was the only one to have easy and difficult modes, though, right?
You don't need easy and difficult.
Didn't you guys say 11 had
beautiful, it don't matter.
Okay, but
11 had difficulty, 10 had difficulty.
Okay, those are later entries, though. We're talking like the first 4 Mega Man games. Only 2 had that dumbed down American difficulty. The Genesis Wily Wars is the original Japanese difficulty.
Wow.
And it's not just one game.
Here.
It's
was
3
it the original
games.
Japanese speed of play as well? Because Wily Wars is so slow.
Listen, Jake, if you want me to take a shit in this box and give it to you, that's Wily Wars. Because that's basically what you did. You took 3 games, you pissed on them, then you sold it to Genesis users because you know why? They were desperate. They were hungry. They wanted something because they didn't have a Super Nintendo or an NES at the time. Please give me Mega Man. We don't have it on our console. Oh, these kids want Mega Man? Here, have this shit. This is garbage. Well, guess what? That's what you get. It's like giving starving children beet juice. And you know what you tell them? Hey, at least it's food.
It's nutritious.
Not how that works. No,
I like
nutritious
beet juice.
And it's full of vitamins.
I like beet juice.
You know what's? Yeah, I like beet juice, and I like Mega Man Wily Wars because the graphics are better.
It's tasteless oats. I'm just throwing. My disc is going to get scratched because I'm literally.
Who hasn't spoken yet? Well, if you haven't said anything yet, what do you think of this?
Yeah. Okay. So, this round has been a lot of shitting on Wily Wars and not a lot of praising Mega Man 2, and that's for good reason. Mega Man 2. Okay, let's get this straight. Okay, so my brother is one of the biggest Mega Man fans I've ever met. Like, I'm pretty sure he has the helmet or the actual buster you can put on your arm, and I think he has the hoodie. He's like out there with it, right?
Fun fact: Wolf's brother is Mega Man.
Basically, yes. So
you can tell from experience.
his favorite is 2 or 9, but it's one of those ones. So I gotta give it to 2 on that merit, but also on the fact that Wily Wars is just garbage versions of 3 great games. And let's hold on. The composer for Wily Wars he couldn't even save the soundtrack putting it on Genesis. He was one of the composers for Castlevania 1, which is great music.
Yeah.
He was also the composer of Mega Man X3, which is one of the best X soundtracks there
Good
are.
one, yeah.
The fact that he could not put something together that sounded good on the Genesis from those NES tracks, and I know you like it, but do they sound like those songs? Yes, they do. They sound like bad covers of those songs.
Listen, the
That's
man
the
was
problem.
given a Porsche. The man was
game is
given
slow.
a Porsche, and he wrapped it around a tree. Let's go.
And I don't know what, like, none of the characters look right in that game. They all look like they were squished through the, copyright safe filter or some shit. Like, this is...
Look, we shopped at Alco a lot growing up, so I'm familiar with secondhand knockoff toys, and that's Wily Wars.
Food for less. This is the wish.com of Mega Man.
Yeah.
So where do
There you go.
we stand right now? Where do we stand?
I think clearly
It's
Wily
unanimous
Wars wins.
too.
Yeah,
And if it
thank
you.
doesn't, I'm
Wily Wars-
leaving.
is the copyright
Ew.
infringing pinata of
Okay.
Mega Man games.
No, listen here. It was not made by Alibaba and some knockoff in a different country
Whoa.
here. No, this is not one of those ROM hacks that are unauthorized. This is an authorized
No,
Capcom
but
release. This is not
you
Mega
look
Man
at
DOS.
it and you're like, that's clearly Mega Man, but something's wrong with it.
It's upgraded graphics. I mean, look, you look at
Something
Mega Man
That's
Powered Up.
debatable.
Mega Man.
Okay, and Mega Man
Upgraded?
11. Mega Man 11's graphics are different, and you're not shitting all over that one. So I think
Because
the
they're
more
good.
colors. What?
Because Mega Man 11's graphics are good.
I don't know about that one. I don't know.
Oh man, it looks like somebody took their finger paint and turned it into a game.
Okay.
Jake just has a soft spot for this one because he played it on Sega Channel as a kid.
I have a Sega.
Fuck
I
you,
hate
but
this
yes,
game.
that is one of my strong reasons. Yes, I did play this on Sega Channel. It was exclusive because this didn't come out in North America. It was a European only release and Japan only release. And when you guys say slow, I'll admit the slowdown when the bird drops the egg and it scatters. That slows the game down. But the rest of the game feels fine to me. I
I'll
don't
be
know.
right
I
back.
find
I
it
gotta
a bit.
grab
And when it comes to soundtrack, I will agree that the Mega Man 3 and Mega Man 1 on Wily Wars sound like crap. They sound like really bad remixes. But the Mega Man 2 soundtrack and Wily Wars actually sounds really great. It's like a cool jazz lounge take on Mega Man 2. I love Mega Man 2
Which
on
is
the
what
NES
everybody
soundtrack.
wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody wanted
Yes. Sometimes
that.
you want change. You want a cover. Thanks for
I
agreeing with me,
also
GP.
drink heavily in jazz lounges, and music starts to get a little blurry when I'm listening and drinking to it. So yeah, sure. It
All right.
sounds like I've definitely drank too much before I turn this on.
So a couple things here. First off, it's been nice having Press B for a while. We'll see y'all later. Because we're now like between Wily Wars and Mega Man 2, apparently this is where we draw the line, and we're now going to have pistols at dawn.
Jake's gonna
There-
fire all of us.
there will be pistols at dawn. So it's been a great run, folks. But I'm sorry, but Mega Man 2 is my second favorite soundtrack. I'm
Second.
with that one.
Second.
Okay.
Yeah, behind 4.
Behind 4.
Behind 4.
Behind 4.
I'm with him
Mega
on
Man
that.
2's soundtrack. Get it
2
right.
has a great soundtrack. I think 4 edges it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm throwing down 2.
Okay.
Now it's funny. I actually spun up while we were talking. I flipped on the Mister and spun up Wily Wars, and I spun up Wily Wars for Mega Man 1. Trash fire.
I cried playing it. I felt like someone was abusing someone I loved in front of me, and I could do nothing
Wow.
to stop
Wow.
it. Yeah, it hurt.
Jeez.
It hurt. I couldn't stop it, and I just kept going. Like maybe it'll stop. No, it just kept going. And there's 2 other games in there. I didn't touch the other 2 because I knew it was just going to be just as bad.
Yeah.
You ruin one of the best soundtracks in the world. Why would I venture through? It's like literally walking through a cave that's caving in around you, and you go, "Hey, maybe I'll go further." No, I stopped and turned around and went out.
Yeah,
Look,
okay,
metaphors
yeah.
are really kind of my thing, Chard. So
Well, you know what?
Charge, do you like-
buddy.
I did. You were exactly right. That was apt. Well done.
Chard, Genesis music or Super Nintendo music? Which one do you prefer in general?
Super Nintendo music without question. I was,
and
a
this
Genesis
is
kid
why
growing
you're
up.
wrong and everything going forward, because the
No,
Super
no,
Nintendo
that's
music
it.
is
I-
clearly not better than Genesis. Genesis music is superior in every way. The clarity, the range of music is so much
a
better.
whole other episode.
You know, and that's
Okay.
fair.
It's been a
Yeah, we're
great
not-
it's
yeah.
Whole other
been a great
episode.
run.
That's
It's
fair.
been a great run, folks.
Let me
Thanks for
address
this. I'll talk to you
The-
later.
The Genesis game soundtracks that are amazing are absolutely fucking like sky high spectacular. But I mean, when you think about almost every game on the Super Nintendo has a great soundtrack, and you know, on the Genesis, you're limited to Sonic games, Toe Jam and
Sonic.
Earl.
No.
Sonic and Toe Jam and Earl may be the only two games in Genesis history that do have great soundtracks.
No. I'm gonna throw out what's the All Your Baser Belong to Us. That has a fantastic
Zero Wing,
soundtrack.
yeah.
Zero
Right.
Wing.
You're right. That's another
Absolutely
episode.
amazing on the Genesis.
That is another episode.
You know
I
what's a
disagree.
great Genesis soundtrack? When you turn it off.
Oh, God damn.
The
Charge, you're
opening of
killing it.
Sega is a jam as well.
So am I the only one going to
Yeah.
say Wily Wars, I guess? Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, fine. Mega
I
Man
don't know
2
how
on the
I
NES
felt for
versus
3
Mega Man Wily
rounds.
Wars on the Genesis. Yeah, I'm losing out. This is not my round for sure. Mega Man
I'm
2
not
takes
shocked
it.
that we universally voted for Mega Man 4. I am shocked that we didn't all vote against Wily Wars.
That is
Next.
All right.
Sorry.
Our last
Thank you.
bracket for the premier medals or whatever the hell they call it is
I'm sorry, Jake. I feel so bad. You're so winded. I feel like we've just thrown dirt on you this entire
it's just it's like I'm married
a
all
shit
over
on-
again, Chard.
guys.
It's
You're
a shit
so-
on Jake episode.
Your show and
Jake-
tell was horrible.
I love you. Stop.
Yeah.
Last bracket.
Yeah.
Mega Man 3 on the NES. What did the algorithm give us? Oh. 20XX versus Mega Man 3.
shit.
So I don't know if you guys
Okay.
have you guys played 20XX? Wolf, you have, right?
I have.
Yeah.
I have.
You have?
No, I haven't played. I played Mighty Number 9. I'm sorry. I know you're gonna get real mad that I got those two mixed up. I have
Those
not
are
played
couldn't
20XX.
be
I'm
more
sorry.
different,
Okay.
dude. Come on.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They were both the different games for the different producers. Mighty Number 9 is terrible. I'm sure
Now-
20XX
Yes.
is way better. I that I'll say.
I have an issue with this because we specifically held Mega Man X games out of this.
Right.
20XX is a spiritual successor roguelite to Mega Man X, not
Mm,
Mega Man.
Yes and no. It's a
mean,
mix of Mega Man, classic Mega Man
It's-
NX,
no,
but
it's not. They
30XX.
dash and they
There's dashes in some of the
Mega
classic
Man
Mega Man
X.
games too, right? I'd say 30XX
two
is more the
X's.
X in spirit. 20XX I think is a bleed of the both or blend of the both. But I think it's suitable for this list personally.
Okay. Mega Man 3 wins. I'll just go ahead and start this off. Sorry. 3 has its obvious weaknesses and shortcomings. It is the GP of the Mega Man franchise in that it is way too long-winded and doesn't really go anywhere. But if you take out the shitty middle part, the game is actually really, really good. You guys and gals probably out there all know how I feel about the boss from Mega Man 2 refights. But if you were to take that out, honestly, Mega Man 3, one of the better in the classic franchise. So I'm going to go with 3 over 20XX.
That metaphor fits because you are long-winded, GP.
Wow. I disagree
Wow.
with all the shitty stuff in between.
Wolf, do you want to say anything?
actually think
What
there's
do
a
you,
lot
what do you
of
think?
I haven't voted, but I thought
Okay.
the metaphor fit.
But you just agree that I'm long-winded.
I
Very
do
cool.
think 20XX is a decent game. However, if we're comparing them apples to apples, the sprite artwork is much prettier to look at than the paper doll flash style artwork of 20XX. It puts
Okay.
me off. I don't like that look. 20XX is very samey from level to level because the level generation is not varied very much. There's very limited blocks that it builds from, and every single level is basically open pits everywhere aside from the platforms you're standing on. So it's very much a first iteration of what it was. Was it good? Yes. Mega Man 3 good? Absolutely not. And I don't think Mega Man 3 is a perfect game, but 20XX is not better than 3. 3 has the better soundtrack. 3 has cooler ideas at work for the most part. It's more pleasing to look at. It's got to be 3. Plus 3 gives you the little ways you can mess with your with the person playing if you plug in the second controller.
That's
Okay.
true.
You can make Mega Man jump like skyscrapers high and never die in pits, and it's a lot of fun to mess with people who've never played it before.
I do want to
And
say
the-
on the
the-
graphic style real quick. Sorry, GP, but
No, you're
when
fine.
you
Go
guys are
ahead.
talking about the graphic style in 11 being good, I really wish that the bracket was 11 versus 20XX because they look the same to me. That's why I don't find the graphics in 11 particularly good. I don't think it's bad, but for me, it's the same with 20XX. It's a style choice, but it looks to me a lot like 11. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying it looks like 11. So
I could see that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd argue that I like 3. 3 is another one that, and I like 3 because of my nostalgia of childhood. I used to rent this game growing up from my local Bel Air. I played it a lot. Snake Man and Maggot Man were like, when I was kids, were 2 of the coolest robot masters I thought of at the time when I was growing up.
I heard
thought-
it too, Jake. I heard it too.
What, Snake Man and Magnet Man? What'd I
Maggot
screw up?
Man.
Did I
Yeah,
say
yeah.
Maggot Man?
You said Steak
Snake
Man.
Man,
Magnet
Snake Man, and
Man.
Maggot Man.
Is it
Whatever.
Giant Cow?
Mag-
Is that what the
Maggot
man?
Man.
Fly Guy. Back
You know,
to
Maggot
Stockton.
Man. Someday he'll fly. Someday Maggot Man will fly.
Anyways,
Plus,
those
3 is
those
full of
those
just-
were cool. Those were cool bosses. And coming off of 2, going into 3, I thought that was a really cool thing. And what 3 had the slide? Yeah, was it the Mega Buster 4? Or was it slide first?
Slide. Yeah.
Slide.
Slide in 3.
I thought the slide in 3 was a cool little adaptation. The Proto Man, the introduction
Rush.
of Proto Man into the
They
game.
gave
Rush.
they gave
as
us
well.
Rush.
Because
Yep.
you had the items from 2, but then they made the items Rush, which was a more, so you have your canine companion to come with you, and the Proto Man whistle is iconic. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't go anywhere with that. So
I agree with that.
I have to pick 3. I mean,
Also-
even if I have to lean on 3 because I know 3 better than 20XX, and I'm sure 20XX is a great game. But to keep this in the Mega Man bracket, I got to go with Mega Man 3.
Also, when we were talking about iconic Mega Man songs, the opening, music that comes on the minute you boot up the game, is so good. Like that is up there with Dustman. When I had said with Dustman, there's maybe 1 or 2 other songs that are that level. I got to go with the opening, kind of bluesy version of the Mega Man song. So, yeah, great stuff. I also think that 3 has better, and this is out of the entire series. It has really, really good weapons. You know how you inherit the weapons from the guy you just beat. It's so well done and a very well balanced game. Again, except for the obvious parts. And the Wily stages. The Wily stages for 3 are dope as hell.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I like 20XX and the procedural generation a lot. I really like procedural generation. I can't say it, but I like it. But yeah, Mega Man 3 is my favorite of the series. So I'm not going to vote for Mega Man 3. So I think, are we unanimous on 3 then, guys?
I think
Yeah,
so.
3
Yeah, I think
was
so.
my 3 was my third favorite soundtrack.
Okay.
Now, I think if you sneak in 30XX when we start talking about the X brackets, that one might stand a chance of going to round 2.
I agree with you. 30XX is a far better game. Yeah, but it was too close to X. I don't think 20XX I think fits better for this list. But I agree with you guys. So all right, so Mega Man
That's
3
fair.
goes on. So now we're in the semifinals. The first one, Mega Man 11 versus Mega Man 1. I mean, come on. Like 11, really? Sinistar, why do you think 11 beats Mega Man 1?
Because I can't. I am ass at Mega Man 1.
Me too.
But I
too.
actually can play 11.
Okay.
Okay.
I have
That's
to
honest.
go. I have to go with 11.
Soundtrack is better for 1. Soundtrack is better by far for 1, but I have to go with playability, and that's 11 for me on this one.
I have to kind of agree. I don't know. 11. It's not fair to put the very first game with the most recent game back to back. It's kind of cool to be like, this is where it started, and this is where we are now. And I think 11 proves that they have grown. And I think that when you play 11, you think to yourself, wow, look at all the stuff that they've done since then with all the different bosses and the different aspects. And it's a beautiful game. Again, visually, it's great. One's music is better. I will say that is true. But I'm going to go with 11. I shouldn't, and that probably makes me very unretro to say so. But I'm going to go with 11 on this one because I really like a lot of things about 11.
Chard, stay with me on this because I think if you sign off on this metaphor, I mean, we're both metaphor guys, we're both Final Fantasy guys, we're both Mega Man guys. Doing this bracket is essentially Final Fantasy 9 versus Final Fantasy 1. Both great. This is where we started, this is where we are. it is kind of unfair. I'm going to go with 1, not to speak ill of 11, because I kind of attacked it at the beginning. I'm going to go with 1, but I think, both absolutely have their merits. But yeah, for me, it's 1.
Wolf, what do you think?
Guys, I still want to know what a metaphor is.
It's like a simile. Now,
It's-
if you examine the sentence, it's like a simile. That's comedic fucking genius. I'm sorry. I'm going to tap out now.
Go ahead, Wolf.
So I have said this about one game and not the other. Mega Man 11 was very close to being one of the best Mega Man games ever made. Mega Man 1 was not. At the time of its release, sure, it was the best Mega Man game ever made. But it didn't have dozens of other entries to contend against. 11 did, and 11 actually showed up. Whereas, what? 2 was better than 1. 3, some people argue it's better than 2. I go back and forth on it. 4, better than 3. So I do think it improved for a while. 5 and 6 and 7. But I mean, 11 is up there with 2 and 3 for me as far as quality goes and playability.
Okay.
Yes.
And mechanically, absolutely. Yes. 11 is top tier.
I think
the music is forgettable. The sound design is bad, but mechanically, the game is top tier.
I think you're below me on the screen at the moment, but fist bump.
Okay. I just want to say this. I walk every day. There's so far in my life, knock on wood, after I learned how to walk, there's not very many days where I haven't walked. So I'm better at walking now than I was when I was 9 months old. But my first steps were much more impactful and profound than my first steps today. Not to be too heavy on the metaphors, but take that as you will. Thank you.
Wow, I did not think
your first car is a 1970 something Gremlin, and now you're driving a Lamborghini. Maybe your first car was pretty impactful, but I'll tell you what, that Lamborghini looks real freaking nice. Just saying.
But what if your first car was Camaro?
Your Lambo in for a Gremlin just because of the nostalgia? I don't think so.
Because in this metaphor, does the Lambo stop time?
It does. Slows it down and it powers you up.
Well, of course, you get closer to the speed of light.
Exactly.
Nice.
I don't know, man. I did not think you guys would vote for Mega Man 11 at all. Mega Man 1, I agree, it's not my favorite Mega Man on the NES by a long shot. But when I look at Mega Man 11, I said before, I don't really find the graphical style of 11 good at all, and I really don't find the music that great. So for me, the music and the graphics, I prefer Mega Man 1. Gameplay wise, I agree 11 does some neat stuff, and it definitely has more in its toolbox than 1 does, but 1 was the first game in the series. Wow, my vote is Mega Man 1, I guess, but I guess that's not going to matter here. It's 3 against 1. GP, we lost this one. I've lost every bracket. What the hell? Mega Man 11 beats Mega Man 1. Yeah. That's bizarre. So Mega Man 11 is going to our finals. That is not what I expected.
People were waiting a long time for a new Mega Man to come out. A new, not a 10, but like an 11 to come out. Like, what are they going to do with Mega Man?
Ours goes to 11. Ours goes to 11.
Yes, exactly. Why don't you just make 10 louder? But ours goes to 11.
Yeah.
The point is that instead of making it another X game and just going, which is, I know, a whole nother thing, they kept it within the boundary. They kept it within the same gameplay. They just polished it up and added some new mechanics to it. But it's still Mega Man. You don't have all this cool armor or all this cool stuff that you build upon in the game. It's still Mega Man, but it looks good and it plays good.
And it's accessible. I
disagree.
And that does matter. I do appreciate that.
And
wow. Because Mega Man 1 is not accessible at all. Dude,
what?
Go ahead, Wolf.
It does look and feel a lot more like a Mega Man game than 8 did.
That's right. Yeah, right.
Okay.
I will agree.
8 wasn't a bad game.
No.
It wasn't 7.
All right. Mega Man 11 wins. Our next semifinal is Mega Man 5 on the Game Boy versus Mega Man 4 on the NES.
Do we really have to have this? Okay, just move on. 4.
Yeah, 4.
Really?
Hands down.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Four's-
sorry.
Four's
Game Boy 5 was
soundtrack-
cool.
I like
Okay.
Planets, but I like
Far
the games
superior.
better.
Okay.
All right.
If for no other reason, I'm sorry. If nobody's going to say anything, I will at least say one thing about this. Mega Man 4. If you guys remember our last talk about Mega Man, it was a podcast episode probably about a year and a half ago. I think we established that even though Mega Man 4 came out in 91, it ended the Cold War along with Rocky 4, and
It's not an 80s
it was
game.
the greatest game of the 80s, even though it came out in 91. So yes, 4.
All right.
I can't argue with that logic.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take an easy win for that one. So Mega Man 4. You know what?
Yeah.
You guys are right. It would be 4. I do like the Game Boy
Greatest-
one, but 4, at least
The
the
Game
4 I
Boy
could
one-
beat.
Absolutely.
It did some cool stuff. It broke
Yeah.
the
It did,
mold, got out
but-
of the funk, but you can't put it up against 4. That's not fair.
Greatest soundtrack of the series, 4.
It's up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
4 had the better soundtrack. 4 had the more interesting story.
Yep. Eddie.
4 had,
4 had
every-
color.
4 had.
There
was
is a Mega
full
Man
on a big
5
screen
ROM
TV.
hack that colorizes it, and it actually looks really cool. There's a few Game Boy
cool.
hacks that add color after the fact that are worth playing, and that's one of them. Mega Man 5 DX, I think it's called.
Okay.
All right, fine. Okay, our third semifinal bracket. We really breezed through these, but this one is kind of ugly. It's Mega Man 2 versus Mega Man 3.
Ooh.
Those are both amazing games on the NES. Forget for the Mega Man series. Across the board, the NES, Mega Man 2 and 3 are high in that top list. So I don't even know where to begin. Who wants to start? Chard,
Coin
go ahead.
toss.
This is not fair. This is like picking your favorite child.
I do that all the time.
Well, I don't have children, so
Yeah, when you're a parent, it's easy.
Yeah.
the things I learn. I'm leaning on nostalgia and music for this one. I think Mega Man 2's soundtrack is the better soundtrack out of the two. And Mega Man 2 was the first Mega Man I ever played growing up, and it was what made me fall in love with the series initially. And I love everything about 2. And it's the one that I'm pretty decent at. So I have to go with 2 because the music in 2 just. I know Sinistar loves 4's best music, and the music's great in 4, but how he feels about 4, I feel about 2's music. It is bar none my favorite soundtrack out of the whole series, and I like everything about it. It took 1's mechanics and made it better, in my opinion, and I love it. I love 2 over 3, so 2's gonna take this one for me easily.
Can we segue into me since he brought me up?
Sure.
Okay. 2 is my second favorite. 4, then 2, then 3 as far as soundtrack. So I'm going to go with 2.
Cool.
Wolf, you want
I
to go?
gotta say,
Or
oh,
GP,
sorry, yeah.
if you want to go GP, it's up to you.
No, go ahead, GP. Go.
okay. Well, I think a year ago I would have said, oh, without a doubt, 2 over 3, and I'm still gonna go with 2 over 3. But 3 it's not that it's growing on me, but I am taking more of a balanced look at 3. And I even just played through it today, and I've really distilled it down to man, if they just didn't have the refights from 2, this game would be better. But of course, that's not the discussion today. So I'm going to go with 2. But let's check it again in a year or so, and maybe I'll feel like 3 is edging it out. But no, 2, I mean, aside from just being better than 3, it is better than damn near all the other Mega Man games except for 4. So
I want to say,
yeah, 2.
I know Wolf's going next, so I apologize. I'm just gonna make this real quick state. 2 is so much better than 3 that they actually had to introduce the 2 characters back into 3.
Okay, hold on a second now. So first
I
off,
just
you
thought
wait a
something.
year, GP, to marinate this. Mega Man 3, those bosses are still going to be there. So I actually have beaten 3 recently, and I will agree that it is much more difficult because of those additional 2 bosses that get added in there. But I still think that's incredible. I don't want to say value, but it's more value because it's a longer game and it's great. You still have passwords and whatnot, but it is harder. But I like that they took some of the continuity from the previous game and brought it into 3. I think 3 is great for that.
It was needless. It was never explained. It was never fleshed out. You don't know why they're there. It's just a thing that happens.
Yeah, they just bring them back. I mean, plot in the Mega Man games that early didn't really exist, right? We didn't get the 10 minutes of plot until 11. So,
Okay.
Wolf, you want to go?
Actually, I think 7 probably had the 10 minutes of plot to really start it off.
There's a few of them now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh. This is a close one for me. This is really close. 2 did have the amazing soundtrack. It really upped the ante as far as like how the game's played. 3 introduced entirely new mechanics with Rush having 3 different vehicle forms: jet, marine, and coil. Which, I mean, coil is just useful to get all the extra goodies you need, E-tanks and whatnot. You say the dark robot stages or dark robot stages, whatever you want to refer to them as, are needless. But I thought it was kind of cool that you get to revisit these levels, but they don't look identical to how they did. Like they even changed time of day on these things. So it's a whole new, it's a updated tile set for those same levels, which is really cool. And I have a suspicion that they wanted to actually try and get the original bosses into the game, but they didn't have enough space, so they used the dark robots to just like have the spirit of the one character float into it, and that boss has all the animations it needs instead of having to animate 8 more bosses, right? So I think the robot itself was just a necessity for technical limitations. Now, are they prick robots? Absolutely. But it is super cool coming back and fighting these characters that you loved from 2 in 3. And seeing all that stuff over again. And not only that, but it feels like a heavier game. Because 2 didn't have much of a plot. 3 actually frames Dr. Light for what Dr. Wily has done. Right? It actually brings some heaviness and seriousness to it.
So I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but I have to. You're saying we have to acknowledge and accept the Dark Robot refights without getting any plot because the games weren't heavy on plot, and then turn around and praise the plot of 3? Like, that's a little, I mean, you're not wrong. I just want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly because, come on, buddy.
I didn't say that. You said that there was no good reason for them to be there.
You just got done saying, well, the plot wasn't a big thing in Mega Man. Or maybe I'm just...
It wasn't.
No, I said that it's not a big thing in Mega Man.
Okay, then I'm wrong. You're right. I apologize.
But the plot in 3 was still better than the plot in 2.
I agree with that.
3 also had Proto Man, which is really, really cool.
Yes, 3 had Proto Man. It had his jazzy
3's a good game. It has a lot
to
it.
Rush. Looking back on it, the only thing against it is that sitting down to play it can take too long.
Because of that middle section with the refights,
right.
Yeah.
Right. But overall, I think 3 is superior. I gotta go with 3 on this one.
I like this bracket. This is a good bracket. This one.
This is a tough one. This is a tough one.
Like we're talking inches of difference, but
it really is.
I love 3 better.
Like I like 2 a lot as well. Don't get me wrong. And Dr. Wily's Castle, I'll say it again, is my favorite track from the franchise. Possibly one of the top music tracks on the NES. Like Dr. Wily's Castle is amazing. There's a lot of great moments in 2, like that dragon fight when you have to jump block to block to block. It's amazing, and it's a lot of fun. It's great. It looks better on the Wily Wars, but unfortunately, you guys vetoed that game. But I think it's pretty good. But when I look at like 3, yeah, but 3 is like adds a slide. Slide in Mega Man is one of my favorite moves, and it adds so much to the game. It speeds you up. It feels cool. It's really it's enjoyable. I love using slide. The bosses are really cool in 3, like Needle Man, Snake Man. Like the Snake Man stage also has great music. But the up and down animating levels sections are freaking amazing. I just think the gameplay in 3 is more improved over 2. And I like the designs of the Robot Masters in 3 more. Plus, like you said, Rush adds new gameplay. There's more gameplay in 3, both in mechanics, but also in adding the 2 bosses as like a end game type of thing. And it's definitely longer because of that. There's more value in 3. I get it. It's long. It could be a slog if you're doing it all at once. But I mean... Look, we don't have to worry about turning the Nintendo off every day, right? We have save states for that. We have passwords in this game. We can pick up and play whenever we want. So I think 3 is the better game here. So as much as I like 2's music, 3 also has great music. Proto Man's whistle, the Snake Man is fantastic. I like Needle Man's music as well. So I think 3 for me is the winner. But
3 accomplished more. I might be changing my mind on this one, guys. You might have swayed me.
Wow.
I don't know.
3 also tightened up the gameplay. Because 2 was still a little slippery. Not nearly as slippery as 1, but 2 still had that where when you'd stop, Mega Man had little bit of slip to him before he stopped. 3, they finally stopped doing that, and that's when the platforming really became super tight in Mega Man.
So I got to beat the 8 robot pricks, and then the 8 previous robot pricks, and then I got to do the refights of the 8 robot pricks from the beginning of the game, and also Wily. That's a lot of game, guys.
No, you
A
don't.
lot of
It's not
game,
all
but
8
good.
of 2, is it? It's only 4 from 2.
No,
No,
you
it's
do
8.
4
You get 2
4
per
stages.
2 per stage.
Oh,
stage.
that's right. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
So
bosses.
you got 24 plus fights. Ugh,
That's a lot of value.
that's a lot of value.
Yeah.
That's a big game, guys. That's a balanced breakfast.
Don't do this to me, GB.
Includes the OJ.
I'll stick with 2, but guys.
He's really
this-
good.
Don't
What about
sway
the
him.
final battle in 3 versus 2?
Don't
Which had the better
stop.
Wily
No,
battle?
He already said. He stuck with
No,
2.
we're not finalized yet. You can't do that.
This. Yes, it is finalized because
No.
you and Wolf have picked 3. Me and Sarah picked 2, and now you're trying to
Okay,
to sweeten
no.
the pot.
Don't
for
stifle
them.
the
I got-
conversation, man. We
No,
got
no.
time. We got a little bit of time left.
No, we don't.
2. Who has the best?
We don't have
Who has
any
the
time.
better Wily battle? GP 2 or 3?
3.
Okay.
You have to use. Wait. Okay, you're gonna argue with me that your final weapon to beat the boss of 3
Right. Top man.
is
Yeah.
a spinning top
Is
attack
a top.
versus the bubble lead.
That either takes
Bubbles.
two things of
I'll take
weapons
bubbles
energy
over
or
a
your
spinning
entire
top.
thing.
Because if you screw it up, you die. If you mess it up, you blow up.
Here's
Bubbles?
kind of what's fucked up. Also,
I can do that all day.
the snake
least you
weapon
can't-
is one of the most single overpowered weapons until you get the Hadouken
Agreed.
in X.
True.
And
Well,
at
I'm gonna-
least you
okay.
can't accidentally heal the boss to max in 3.
What? When is
What?
that?
How do you do that?
The weapon that you can charge up in 2, because isn't there a
Uh-huh.
weapon you can charge in 2?
The
Heat
one,
Man.
heat gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you shoot that at the last boss in 2, it heals all his health back up.
I didn't know that.
I was
Yeah.
unaware of that.
Well, then.
Okay, well then thank you, Werewolf, for that glitch. That solidifies it for 2. Had Wolf not given me that
No,
information, I
because-
would have said 3. But because Wolf said that, I'm
You
gonna stick with
can't
2.
hurt the last boss
Thank
with
you,
your fucking
Werewolf.
lemons.
Thank you, Werewolf, for making
What is
the
that
argument
shit?
for
Mega
2.
Man is not very mega in Mega Man 2.
So,
Yeah, he's right. If you don't have bubble lead, if you're at a bubble lead, you can't beat that boss. What bullshit is that? You can't even kill the boss. He's immune to
Right.
everything except for one weapon.
Except Bubbles.
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 Can I
You're
just,
voting for the
I'm
game
just
with
gonna go out-
bubbles?
Look,
Really?
I'm gonna go with 2. But it's close. And you guys did a great job.
And also, Mega Man nearly killed Wily in 3.
But did he?
Proto Man had to pull him back.
You can kill him in 4, by the way.
You
We'll
can.
talk about that but we'll talk about that. But yes, I'm gonna go with 2, but it's close.
All right.
Good job.
So
Mm.
I
Wolf,
am- I am 100%.
I am
Oh
0%.
wait, no. Okay, never mind. 3. I'm gonna go with 3 then, just to debunk. I'm
I hate
getting
this
2.
place.
I'm
I hate
playing with
this
you. I'm playing. We love you, Chard. 2.
All right.
We're going
God.
2.
So Sinister, you were 2? Yeah,
Two.
because you
Yeah,
like the
2.
soundtrack more.
2 wins.
God
'Cause It's the
damn.
best soundtrack in the series.
Mega Man 2 versus Mega Man 3. Mega Man 2 beats it, which sucks.
Without question.
All right, so our final 3, and then we just debate the 3 who gets gold, silver, bronze. It's Mega Man 11, Mega Man 4, and Mega Man 2.
I think this is an easy gold
11 's
silver
bronze,
situation.
The original title for Mega Man 11 was actually Mega Man Bronze. So I think we can all agree that's where that's going, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't give 11 top slot. 11's got to be bronze.
I
for me.
have to agree that bronze goes to 11.
My wife is
turns out
picking
that
on
it's
me.
my-
She sees
it's
my
my-
frustration.
It's my 3. it's my accessible plus my 2 soundtracks. Like, this is hell for me. This is hell.
Yeah,
This
bronze
is-
goes to
this
11.
Yeah, bro. Okay. So
I don't think
gold,
we have
silver,
to go any different. Yeah.
it's going to
So
be
gold
Mega
and
Man 2 or
silver.
Mega Man 4.
4 and
Right.
2, right?
I'm going
Well,
silver for.
I'll be
I'm
the
going
first
silver.
to say I think Mega Man
11.
4 wins. I think second place is a good place for 2. An argument can be made for either. Me personally, I lean 4.
I don't know.
Okay, I will go 4. I will go 4 for gold, but I'm going to go 11 for silver.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Really over 2?
I have to take accessibility of play. Because I can play
No, you
Mega Man
don't.
11.
2 has
I
the
can
best
play
soundtrack
11.
in the whole series. What do you mean accessibility? You can be terrible at the game, but at least it sounds good.
That's where I stand, man.
You
4,
stand,
11, 2.
You stand
4.
crooked. That's what you stand. You
I should
stand-
have. I should have had a V8 this morning.
You should have, because you are definitely off to the side on this one. You were way out of line.
Yeah, I
You're
think
way out of line.
I think 4 and 5 agree that 11 is bronze, Sinistar. So I think you lost that one.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, but 4 versus 2.
It's been
Look,
nice.
Jesus.
It's been nice being on the show.
No, we
Like-
can't all be charged. We
Yo,
can't all be
yo,
batting 1,000 on this.
Yo,
Okay,
if we
So
can't,
it's okay.
if we literally quit the show over Mega Man 11, we really need to rethink our priorities here. Right? It's a good game, but come on, man.
I mean, you guys shot down some of my favorites early on, like right out of the gate. Bam, bam, crushed over and over.
Wily Wars all over again.
Uh,
Okay, Mega
Wily
Man 4
Wars
and
did it to
2.
themselves.
I gotta say 4
Wily
versus
Wars,
2.
we're sorry, you two.
I liked Mega Man
4.
3 better than 4 and 2, but unfortunately, you guys voted wrong, and it's not here. So I have to look at 4 and 2. I like 4 a lot. I played it the hell of it out when I was a kid, and I understand it has the Buster and it has a slide I like so much. And as much as I like some of the character, like the bosses in that game, the stage design to me in 4 does not beat 2. I think the stage design in 2 was a lot better, a lot more fun. The dragon fight was great. Like, as much as Dr. Cossack was cool, it overcomplicated things, and we all know it's Wily anyway, so it's just crap anyway. So for me, Mega Man 2 I think is better than 4.
Okay. Now I'm gonna just say this, Jake, because it sounds like you're on the fence. So let me go ahead and help you with this. Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 4. One of those two titles was not in Wily Wars. Make the right choice.
That's probably why he doesn't like it, is because he didn't get to play it on Wily Wars.
Like,
Couldn't
if
play it on
only
the
4 had been
Genesis.
added, it would have been,
It
Wily
would have been
Wars
great
would have
if
been
I
great.
played
Fantastic,
thousands of
yeah.
Wily War 4s. Okay,
You know
my
what,
opinion
GP?
stands at
Mega
at
Man
4
2?
being gold.
Mega Man 2 is one of the greatest games from the 80s. Mega Man 4
That's true.
can't even qualify for that.
That's true. That's
That's
true.
because it's not in the 80s.
Wolf, what
Yeah.
do you think?
Wow.
I gotta go with Mega Man 4 on this one. I think the soundtrack is that they're pretty even, but like I said, 3 is where the platforming got really tight, and
We're not
4
even
kept
talking
that
about
up.
3. Yeah, there
4
you go.
kept that up.
You might even say that 4 was twice as good as 2, but that's just
Maybe
numbers.
You could say that, but that's just
And-
numbers. That's just
But
math.
But also,
Just math. It's not
4
me.
also showed Mega Man without his helmet on, just like 2, but in a much bigger sprite with a lot more detail in the
Mm.
ending.
It just ruins my immersion.
Or
I didn't
a
need to know he's a
twist.
real boy. He's a robot. He's Mega Man. I don't want to know that he's not a robot. I hated that part.
4 had your second twist. 2 had your first twist. 4 had your second twist,
Mm.
and they led into it because you think Wily is an alien. He's not an alien. It's a hologram. Spoiler effect. But 4 had a whole nother doctor, a whole nother guy
Yeah.
that you were like, WTF, mate? What
Who
are you
had a
doing over
kidnapped
here?
daughter? Yeah.
He kidnapped some girl. Then you find out Wily's still a prick robot.
Just
Stealing
the worst.
children? Are you kidding me? Let's murder this guy. Then you can murder him. You actually can murder Wily in Mega Man 4. It is possible. There's an achievement for it, retro achievements.
How
Okay.
do
Fun
you do
stuff.
that?
Okay.
Is it a glitch?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Yeah. Chard,
It soft locks the game.
tell them, and then yes, I have a theory on this. Chard, do you want to tell them how to do it?
You do it. You do it, bud.
Okay.
I'll leave it to you.
So you have a weapon that you get from Toadman that shoots like a pellet up into the air, and then rain comes down. So the last thing you do when you go to kill the final version of Wily, his little capsule that he sits in goes flying up off the top of the screen. That's how he escapes. But if you time it right, you kill him, and then as his pod goes, you switch to the Toad weapon, shoot that off, and then the acid rain comes down, and he disappears. He's dead. The game
He's done.
soft locks. And here's why, in my imagination, this is my brain canon for this.
I think I know where you're going
Asimov's-
with this.
Asimov's rules of robotics. One robot cannot intentionally have done any sort of physical damage to a human being. Therefore, in
Well-
Mega Man's mind, he killed a dude, and he has to live in robot purgatory for fucking ever.
As the franchise goes on, that's something Mega Man struggles with in like an overarching story of the series as well. Because I think in 7, he also tries to kill Wily. So that's a recurring theme throughout the franchise.
What? No.
I want to.
Is it?
I want to see an FMV of Mega Man just pummeling the ever living shit out of Wily at the end, and like Roll grabs his arm and something says no. And he's like, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. Just fucking blind rage.
Rush uses his paws, holds down Wily's shoulders. Mega Man wailing on him.
Just wailing on him.
Checking his breath, all the while looking up at Mega Man. You're good, you're good, you're good. Until right then he's like, stop. No laws are broken.
Just so it's faint enough that he's still alive, but he's almost dead.
Who's building all these mansions for Wily?
Mega Man 12, let's go. Where is he getting his funding from?
And his building permits. Because he made one for Cossack.
Yo, does he have some kind of evil scientist grant that is being passed out in Robot City?
Is he Bruce Wayne?
No.
No, he's not Bruce Wayne.
No.
That's ridiculous. I don't even know why
Mega Man 4's glitch to kill Dr. Wily is the alternate branch of reality for the Mega Man series. That's the first time it branches. Mega Man kills humans or Mega Man doesn't. And throughout most of the series, he's talking about how robots should not kill humans. And in 7, he nearly does it to Wily, and he is convinced otherwise just because he's so tired of Wily's shit and how much destruction and problems he's caused. So 4 gets it because it's the first branch in the timeline.
So we're saying 4 to 11, which seems weird, but
yes,
not because of anything other than 11 is there.
Well, that's just because you guys voted out the other good ones early on.
Exactly. So you guys all say gold.
It should be 4, 2, 3, but that's fine.
I have a multi-dimensional timeline that is formed, and it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
This just came to me in a flash.
So I'm the odd one. I'm the odd one.
Mega Man kills Wily. Hold on. Mega Man kills Wily in 4. He's stuck in robot purgatory. You know what that purgatory is? Close up on Chart's face. Mega Man Wily Wars. Let's fucking
Mega Man Wily Wars is not fucking purgatory. You asked.
You're right. It's hell.
Not.
And he's stuck in it forever because he killed
you know what?
Wily.
If you're in purgatory with that kind of hot jazz, then I can live in there. I can be fine. And you know what? With 3 games, I have so much room in purgatory to enjoy myself.
Do you know what a flutophone is up in Canada?
What?
I don't know what one is here in America.
Do you know what a recorder is?
Yeah,
it's
obviously.
Something that your children will learn how to play in middle school. That is your Mega Man jam on Wily Wars.
Wily Wars is the shitty flute of Mega Man.
I hope your wonderful daughters
It's
learn
not.
how to play Flashman stage with a fucking recorder. Let's go. Robot Hell, Wily Wars.
I mean, not to go back and shit on the Wily Wars, but the thing is, don't change the way the game looks. This is also why I couldn't vote for 11. I just love the aesthetic. Don't change the aesthetic. 7 and 8 did it, and then they went right back to it for 9 and 10. You know, and whenever you change the dimensions of Mega Man, I don't know why, they give him an ass, and they make him dummy thick, and they don't need to do that shit. Okay?
In defense of 7, the sprites look great. It's just they're too damn big, and there's no room for the gameplay.
Mega Man looks like he has
over.
scoliosis because of the way he leans.
In HD, they could go for a style like 7 and have the sprites smaller, just like they do in traditional Mega Man games. So that's where I feel like they should have gone with 11, not full 3D weird looking thing they did. But other than that, 11 was good.
Oh, yeah, good is fine, but this is the best of the best.
Yeah.
So am I the odd one out where I put 11 as second place?
Oh, yeah.
Sounds
without
like it.
question.
Yeah.
Welcome to my club, Sinistar. I lost every single goddamn bracket. Every last one of them.
And I won every single one. So 4 to 11?
4 to 11.
All agreed on?
Yeah, so 11 is our bronze at Press B overall. 2 is our silver for some reason. And 4, which I did not expect, is our gold and is obviously the best Mega Man game ever. At least until we get to X.
Should have been up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, do we want to explain what the next couple of bracket things are going to be like? Do we want to...
Yeah, so I guess we want to do GP is you want... Yeah, you go ahead and mention GP.
I'm going to every single one because
I love it.
I'm going to go to Vegas after this fucking show. Damn.
You should.
Chard's off to Redwind tonight.
Let's go. 4 wins. Here we go.
Winner. Rush for dinner.
Oh, wow.
GP, so you want to explain what we want to do for the next bracket? Or the next?
Okay, so the next bracket is going to be the Mega Man X series. We'll do kind of like we did today, but with the X games. We will be discussing on Twitter, and then, of course, there will be polls there and on our Discord. So anybody who has a strong opinion about this, who's watching or listening, if you're downloading our podcast, which we hope you are, you can weigh in there. And then we'll make the brackets. We'll do it just like we did. And then we're going to end up having a bracket off where we have the Mega Man games versus the X games, and we're going to see what happens.
Well, I have a question for you guys, and also for the listeners. Do we want to include, because do we just want it to be straight up the X franchise, or do we want to include Zero and ZX, as those are branches of the X series?
God, so
What
many
about
games.
30XDX or 30XX?
You can't
I'm
just
sure
make
Jake
stuff
will-
up.
I'm sure the
Sinistar.
IOC will sneak that in.
What about YOCX5?
The problem with just doing
Yeah,
the X
what- and
games is that
what about the
there's
Sigma
not
Wars?
a lot of the X games are bad. There's only the first couple that are good. You can't fill 12
On the
brackets
Genesis?
unless you include ZX and Zero,
Yeah,
where the hell they are.
yeah.
So I think you have to include them, but I'll leave it to you guys.
Mega Man X 1, 2, and 3 on the Sega for the
Look,
Sigma Wars.
DOS didn't make the list on this one. DOS has to make the list on X.
We'll just pop it in there as a
Well, no,
Wait.
we were doing best of. DOS didn't make the list because it's
Which
DOS.
which is the better Mega Man X game? Mega Man X1, Mega Man X2, or Cool Spot? Jake, what do you think?
Personally, my
Commander
vote is for
Keen
Circus
was a
Charlie.
better Mega Man game than Mega
Circus
Man
Charlie,
DOS.
All right, guys.
You do be
So
dummy shit.
for those who are listening,
I might have picked Wily
thank you very
Wars
much
over
for listening to us live. We are trying to stream live on Fridays on YouTube at 8:30 EST. We didn't make it this time, but we did do it live on Saturday. Of course, the audio comes up every Monday. Our theme is as care of The Last Ancient. Thank you very much for our theme. It slaps as always. We are Press B to Cancel. You can find us on. Shush you. You can find us audio podcasts on any of your favorite podcast apps, including Apple or Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Amazon Music, I guess, and Spotify was the other one. Or, of course, you can view all of our past episodes, well, the recent ones anyway, up on YouTube. GP, where can folks find you?
Today on
Just deleting this entire
Press B to
episode.
Cancel. Yes.
Roll the music.
No, but I'm mostly just here all the time. But I will be adding some more content to YouTube for the channel, a few things on another YouTube channel as well. I'll make sure to promote those as those come up. But if you like anything I'm doing, just keep checking us out here for Press B to Cancel.
Sinistar, where can folks find you?
Here, and I am actually trying to get back to streaming on Twitch, likely on Mondays. I am currently building Optimus Prime Lego, so
So
come
fun to
through
watch. You're
With the
crushing
chicken
it, dude.
strips.
with the chicken
With
strips.
chicken strips.
And Chard, where can folks find you?
You can find me mainly here, also on Twitch, www.twitch.tv/Chardmonk, and all other social media platforms under the same name. We've taken a small hiatus, but we will be back very soon, probably next week, to the twitch.tvs.
Yay.
Wolf, how about yourself?
Here, screaming at you, bozos.
Lovely. I wouldn't want you anywhere else.
I just stopped streaming, so just here.
And I'm Sick Jake. You can find me on sometimes on Twitch, I promise, and you can find me mostly on Twitter. And when I do stream on Twitch, you'll be damn sure I'm gonna stream Mega Man with the Wily Wars and crying in my corner, drinking a coffee. Just
This
think
is
of the
how
glory
Mega
days.
Man feels about the Wily Wars.
That's Wily Wars Mega Man right there.
That plushy
Yes.
Mega Man,
Give
This
him
is
some
him
googly eyes.
after dealing with those 3 games.
the trauma.
He looks coked. He looks coked up as fuck. I'm sorry.
Yes.
He just killed Wily. He's been Robot Purgatory on the Sega Genesis. How would you feel?
It
After
looks like
this
the HD
discussion-
Mega Man of 11. Isn't that plushy? Honestly,
Mm.
the ears are in the
I
back.
feel like after this
Disagree.
discussion, I need to spin up the mister, and whenever my boys misbehave, make them play Wily Wars.
God,
That is a
yes.
great punishment.
Oh my goodness.
All right,
You want to go to
guys.
your
Tell
room
that
and
on
play
my kid next
Wily
time he
Wars.
misbehaves.
No, Dad, I'm
Daddy, no,
sorry. I'm sorry.
Not the
Farty
Wily
Mace.
Wars.
Do it again.
Thanks, everybody.
Please let me play Mega Man 7.
I hate you all.
Wolf, can we get a robot voice of
We need
what
a
Mega
robot
Man?
voice. It better be about Wily Wars.
Well, Mega Man.
Robot pricks.
right.
Dummy pick.